If you build it, they will come.
Well, with the car being finished, I can tear this quick setup down. Planning for the future of red circuits, I built another little setup for green circuits, as you can never have enough. So, what is the plan for this video? It's to expand. Red circuits, well, they need copper cable, electrical components, and green circuits. And electrical components need glass, silicone, and plastic. Well, I'm gonna start with plastic because it's basically the same as in base factorio, coal and petroleum gas. So, me being me, I decided to start on a big but important side project. It requires glass. Side project started, gotta finish up this plastic setup. This was the important side project. No longer shall my spaghetti hide in the shadows. Now onto silicone, which is made from burning quartz. Okay, what is quartz? Oh, it's made out of sand and water in a filtration system. Of course, how simple. Gonna need more sand, so I expand that real quick. Remember your ABLs. Always be lightened. Time for a mortal sin as we turn the main bus. So time for quartz. This setup does not work like this, but I will learn and adjust. Set up a quick steel furnace assembler on the bus so I can start upgrading my furnaces. Nearby, I set up the silicone furnaces and then learned that quartz setup was bad and then redo it. Also use unloaders because they are cool. Ending up with this quartz setup for the filter seems like it might produce too much, but the recipe is overall cheap. Time to start upgrading these furnace stacks. Silicone on the bus. Now onto the glass setup. As is the last component I need to make the electronical components. Switch the slide ammo setup to grenades for tree removal purposes. Glass done and added to the bus. Just doing some routing off the bus to make these electronical components. And now they're done, added to the bus. Now after an hour of necessary detours, I can finally make these red circuits. Starting to feel the differences between this mod and the base factorial game, and I'm really liking it. Red circuits done, a simple and easy build. With these red circuits in hand, I can finally make modular armor and really start playing this game. Well, need one last thing before I can really start to play, and that's robots. I plan out where I'm going to do my oil cracking and set up sulfur for the sulfuric acid I'm going to need. Sulfur added to the bus. Speaking of sulfuric acid, that's up and running. Well, with modules unlocked, decided to make a small setup for future use. Pretty basic, just need electrical components and green circuits for the tier 1 version. Now to make blue tech cards. These are simple, you just need glass, blank tech cards, red circuits, and sulfuric acid. Combine those and you get the almighty blue tech card. Why is it almighty? Because it lets us research how to actually play the game. That's right, I am finally able to research construction bots. Have to handcraft some tier 2 assemblers to make these tech cards, as tier 1 assemblers can't accept fluid apparently. Well, perfect time to start using these productivity modules. This time, I go with a healthy 10 assembler setup and not the typical 8. Why? Because I am not consistent. It's done and added to the labs. Now, with blue tech card research unlocked, I make my way to construction pocket research. Once advanced oil refinery is done, I set that up, along with cracking. I start to make plans on where the real base is going to be settled. I see this large copper and iron deposits next to each other and decide to make it there. Gonna need a train system to get the coal from the north. I get T2 assemblers semi-automated, just gonna turn any of these regular assemblers I have into their upgraded counterparts. I shrink my oil cracking and remove heavy oil cracking completely, in exchange for lubricant production. With construction box research, it's time to get them built. First, we need engines, then turn those into electric engines, then into flying machine frames. Those and some green circuits make the first couple of construction bots. Oh hey, look, I used some of those productivity modules. Gonna make a personal robot port for myself. Also, gonna automate roboports too. They're gonna be real handy in the real base. If you're a Factorio player, you already know the power of these bots. And if not, behold the power of bots. Well, with the mold deconstructed, time to replace it with a better one. First, I want to get substations up and automated. They're amazing. Next, I want to get rails. I'm going to need them for my new rail system. This new mold I'm going to be making is going to have the intent of having things for my new base to get it started. So with that being the case, we have red belts, red underground belts, red splitters, stone walls, and red ammo. With that done, I start to plan out my rail system and where I'm going to have the refueling station. Also set up some blueprints. It's funny to think that after 10 hours, I finally feel like I'm getting out of the beginning stages of the game in general. Bosses change how you play and make the more tedious parts of the game easier. Well, I think I put it off for too long. Time to make my way up north to the coal patch. Gonna take out any local wildlife so I can expand in peace. Also, I finally start to collect biomass. I clear some room for my coal mine and my new steam gen setup with the power of explosives. More negotiations go well. Time for a wall design. I settle with this for now and make sure it's tileable. Really get to see the bots in action whenever they're making stuff now. Imagine doing all this by hand. Coal mine up and evenly balanced, as all things should be. There goes my car. Oops. I wonder how many resources I lost. Second car, ready to go. Start to construct a perimeter around this mine. I set up the rail stop for coal pickup. Side project time. Basic turrets are fine to stop an attack for now, but I want to get flame turrets. They are so good and will future-proof my defenses for a long time. Gotta research the flame turrets first though. So time to make a small hand-filled setup for military tech cards. You need biter research data to make these military cards. That's what the biomass I have been collecting is for. Other than the biter research data, all you need is electrical components and blank tech cards. Nice and simple overall. Flame turret research done. Alright, second side project. Base is basically done with a stone patch, and lucky me, there's a patch nearby. Just gotta relocate these inhabitants. With that cleared, I set up the mine, connect its power, balance the belts, create a furnace array for bricks, turn those bricks into walls, and connect the other stone belt to the main bus for the base to use. The first base already feels like it's on life support, but I think it can hold up fine for just a bit longer. I semi-automate some flame turrets. These bad boys can protect me into the late game. Back to the coal mine, I finish up the loading station for the coal and go ahead and upgrade my walls with these flame turrets. Finally, I finish up that setup for the steam gens nearby, and then I load my train for the first time, and add a fluid wagon for oil. The oil will be used by my flame turrets. Now the whole coal mine outpost is walled off and protected. This is the start of my mighty rail network. Each time I do a run, I feel like I understand the rail system better and how to set up more efficiently. The first playthrough I ever did, I used basic turrets and didn't even touch the bots. So all this to say, this game is a learning process with no right answers, just a bunch of fun solutions. Well, with that short little talk, my fueling station is up and working with several waiting docks. We see the first delivery of oil, the lifeblood of any base. I start to extend the rail system south to the iron and copper patches. Taking a pause from that, clear out the area of any biters where I want to start my new base, and set up a wall on the western front. Once that's done, I extend the rail down south to those iron and copper patches to make a drop-off station, leaving extra space for any additional stations in the future. It's always smart to plan ahead. Well, that was the first coal drop-off of many. Well, with coal down here, I set up the miner array for iron. Finally connect the oil into the flame turrets nearby so they can actually start to work. Then I use productivity modules in the miners. I make these 5 lanes into 3. Now, I make them come to life. Then make a furnace stack. Then I copy that design for future use. 3 iron stacks up and running. Onto the copper. Bing, bang, bam, pop. And 2 furnace stacks up and running. Time to create the new bus for the real base. The foundation has been created for the real base that will hopefully carry me into the endgame.